Hey guys, how you doing? It is August Young here at DocSports.com, back with your free NBA rundown. All the games here for Wednesday, November 6th. Gonna dive straight into this one. So let's go with the Orlando Magic at the Indiana Pacers. You have the Pacers laying 5, total at 226.5. I think this total is kind of low considering that the Pacers rank dead last right now on adjusted defensive rating. Orlando haven't been great offensively. We've got to imagine that they can score here versus this Pacers defense. Now you have Indiana. They're obviously solid on the offensive end. They currently rank 7th in adjusted offensive rating. Magic 5-3 to the over this season. The Pacers are 5-2 to the over. I also know some sharp guys that moved on the over there as well, so that is going to be the lean. Moving on to the Detroit Pistons at the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets -1.5, total at 225.5. I've generally been impressed with Detroit so far this season. Didn't expect much at all from them coming in, but 3-5 is a very good mark for them considering their strength of schedule and the fact that they have not been favored in any single game this season. It's impressive. They just pulled off the win over the Lakers. I gotta say though, still lean with the Hornets. They're just 1-3 at home, desperate to get another home win. They've also played a tough strength of schedule. They had games versus Miami, Boston twice, Minnesota, all in their last 5. The favorites also covered in 4 of the last 5 games in the head-to-head series, so give me the Hornets. Warriors at Celtics, good game. Celtics -6, total at 229. I'm all about the Celtics here. You look, Golden State, they've looked very, very good, but they've also played the second easiest strength of schedule. Where you look at Boston, they rank 3rd in adjusted offensive rating this season ahead of Golden State. And as mentioned, the strength of schedule for Golden State does leave a lot to be decided. They're going to have to answer some questions here, especially considering their road matchups. Golden State on the road have played Washington, Houston, Utah, Portland. Not an ideal travel spot for Boston, laying 6 after the 4-game road stand, but they had a day in between. My numbers lean that way ever so slightly, value on Boston. New York Knicks at the Atlanta Hawks. Knicks -7, total at 226. This Hawks team continue to be awful. I mean, how can you be 3-5 straight up and 1-7 against the spread, despite playing the easiest strength of schedule? They were the worst team against the spread last season. Now they're 1-7 this season. We did pick one of their lone cover this season, which is good. New York, they're much better than a 500 team in my opinion. They played the #1 toughest strength of schedule. Think they roll here on the road. I like them laying 7. You know, a Tom Thibodeau team is going to play hard, which is always not guaranteed in this league. I also like the Knicks team total over at 116. Now the San Antonio Spurs at the Houston Rockets. Rockets laying 6.5, total at 215. Both teams are 4-3 against the spread. Spurs are 3-4 straight up. Houston is 4-3 straight up. The thing here is that Houston are much better, in my opinion, than people realize. Remember, these guys, the Rockets, laid 5 versus the Warriors, and now they're only laying 6.5 to the Spurs. For perspective, Golden State ranked 4th in adjusted offensive rating and 2nd in adjusted defensive rating so far. You compare that to San Antonio, they rank 14th and 10th in the same metrics, yet they're only laying an extra point. I think the market has gotten a little low on Houston. They were outstanding at home last season, especially against the spread as favorites. I'll lay the 6.5 here with Houston. Now, Cleveland Cavaliers at the New Orleans Pelicans. Cavs -7, total at 223. You guys know I'm a huge fan of buying low and selling high. Cleveland 8-0 straight up, 7-1 against the spread. You look at the Pelicans, they're 3-5 straight up, just 2-6 against the spread. The issue here for me with buying low with New Orleans, they are banged up real bad. They have no Herbert Jones, no CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy and DeJounte Murray are no-goes. Jordan Hawkins is a game time decision, as well now as Zion. I think those 2 wins, they build confidence for this team, in my opinion. I think -7 is a little cheap based on all the injury stuff that is going on with New Orleans. So I lean Cleveland here at the number of -7. Now, Los Angeles Lakers at the Memphis Grizzlies. You have the Memphis Grizzlies laying 2.5, total at 231. The Lakers started the season well, have seriously fallen off, which concluded with their last loss at Detroit. It's been a rough road trip, just 1-3 straight up. Tough schedule, to be fair, but they have tons on the injury report as well. AD, Hachimura, Austin Reeves, D'Lo, all listed as game time decisions. I lean with Memphis here. Chicago Bulls at the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs minus 10, total at 236.5. Such an ugly play here for a free play, but I do like Chicago in this one, getting double digits. Dallas have not been super impressive by any means, and in actual fact, they've been very underwhelming. They failed to cover in 3 of their last 4 games at home. Minus 10 is a lot of points here, just a value lean for me on the Bulls. Now, the Thunder at the Nuggets, big game, Thunder minus 7, total at 223. I have a premium 4-unit selection going on this one, which you can access if you're not a client of Doc Sports by clicking that link down below. We'll get you a free $60 account, no obligation, and you can get that play completely free within minutes with no obligation. Free $60, no catch. Moving on to the Miami Heat at the Phoenix Suns. The Suns laying 5.5, total at 222.5. Suns have won 5 straight, only 2 and 3 ATS in those games though. Usually a sign of being overvalued when you're winning games but not covering. You have Miami. They've looked okay at times, but their strength of schedule is really weak. Offensively, they've been pretty bad on the offensive end, ranking in the bottom 10 in adjusted offensive rating. Defense has been middle of the pack. Suns can exploit them here, and I think that's what they're going to do. Value at 5.5. Toronto Raptors at the Sacramento Kings. Kings minus 11, total at 237. I've been saying it. Toronto are a cover machine. I've been saying it for weeks. Just 2 and 6 straight up, but 7 and 1 against the spread. I'm not sure the last time something like that happened, to be honest, where a team isn't very good. They are still losing games, not expected to be good, but they're covering them all. They've been close in almost all of them as well. They took Denver, Sacramento, and the Lakers down to the wire. Jury's still out on if the Lakers are a good team, but this is all despite playing, a pretty tough strength of schedule for Toronto. However, I will say this. Kings laid 9.5 on the road in the previous game. Obviously Sacramento, obviously Toronto covered. Now they're only laying 11 at home. That's not a big bump going through neutral court and then to home. Seems light to me based on market efficiencies if you believe in that, as I do. Sooner or later, Toronto are getting blown out. I see it coming, and I'm speculating it's going to be here with the Kings, who are going to put a stamp on it, show they're definitely the better team here. Now, final game, Philadelphia 76ers, Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers minus 1.5, total at 215.5. You know the public's going to be all over LA in this one, but Philadelphia played much better as expected with Paul George on the floor. Took the Suns to the wire. They lost by 2 in that game as 7-point dogs. They could have won it. This is a team that are 1 and 5, despite, they're desperate to pick up wins. Let's put it that way. My numbers make this a pick'em, assuming that Paul George does play. He's still a game time decision. I think he plays, obviously. He played last time. Small lean with Philadelphia. That is the NBA Rundown, guys, for Wednesday, November 6th. I hope you found it useful. And as always, premium picks over at Doc Sports, and click that link below for a free $60. This is August Young with DocSports.com, and I'll see you guys next time.